Okay. So tonight is the 1st of March, the Economic Development Community Board 12 Economic Development Meeting. And we're going to start it off. And we normally go around and just say who we are. So if we can do that very quickly and let's start off with the chair for Community Board 12.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Reverend Thorbs. I am the chair, the new chair of Community Board 12. Um, I'm glad to be here and I welcome you all.
Great. Ms. Reddick.
Good evening, everyone. I'm
Good
Yvonne Reddick,
evening.
District Manager for Board 12.
Okay, great. And Bilal.
Bilal Kareem, second vice chair of Community Board 12.
Okay, very good. And then let's go to the members of the committee. So Owen.
Hey everyone, I'm Owen Shakespeare, member of the Economic Development Committee, and I'm also a member of the Community Board.
Great, thank you. Lynette. Okay, her mic isn't working. Okay, got it. Thank you. Thank you for being here. And let's see who else we've got. Mrs. Blackman, good to see you. How you been? You're on mute. You're muted, so we can't hear.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, good to see you. Good to see everyone. My name is Erna Blackman. Kind of new to the community board. Just got my email today to join you guys. And I'm the founder of Butterflies BBI. It's a nonprofit in Queens. And it's good to be here.
Right. And aren't you still associated with the
With LIAC?
Yeah.
LIAC? Well, I was the former Queens County Director of LIAC.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Which is the Long Island
African American Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you. Very good. Thanks. Good for being here. Donna, would you like to introduce yourself?
Good evening, Donna Downs from Jamaica Community Partnership. I am the community ambassador.
Okay. All right. Very good. And I don't know who we've got on 347-385. Would you please identify?
Dora.
Who's that? Oh,
Dora.
hey, Dora. Okay.
How you doing?
Good. Board member. And Mr. Alam.
Yes, hi everyone. This is Saeed Gulam. I'm actually a new member for the Economic Development Committee. I've been involved with other committees in Community Board 12, the Youth Committee, including the Health Services Committee. So I'm looking forward to working with you guys to improve our economic development in the area of Jamaica, Queens, and the surrounding areas.
Great. Well, welcome aboard. And our guest speaker tonight is going to be Toni. Would you introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. My name is Toni Coleman-Brown, and I'm going to be your guest speaker tonight. I'm a native of Southeast Queens. I live in Far Rockaway, and I'm also the owner of the Network for Women in Business, where we help female entrepreneurs to market and promote their businesses through an online training community. But I'm going to be here speaking about the work that I'm doing with the York Small Business Development Center. Very excited to be here tonight.
Great. Thank you for being here. We're going to start off, we're going to skip the development unless anybody's got some questions or issues around the development that's going in downtown Jamaica. We've got lots of activity, lots of things moving in that direction. But there's nothing that I have significant around the development that's going on. So unless someone's got some questions, we'll just move on to our next phase, which is looking at attracting different businesses and restaurants specifically to the Community Board 12. So I'll take that. Any questions before we move on to the next piece? All right, Owen, I give it to you.
Yeah,
is our man around town, and he's been doing this for the community board. Got to be about 5 years now. Owen, how long have you been doing this for us?
2014.
Okay.
Since she was a baby. So so 2014, that's just 10. Yeah, this month I had a whole bunch of. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say that Owen was actually, before he even came on the board, Owen's been faithfully coming to the Economic Development Committee meetings and providing information and statistics to various entities, see if they can get them to come, attract them to Community Board 12. And Owen was instrumental in terms of helping Starbucks. He and Greater Jamaica Development Corp had been lobbying because there was a Starbucks, a lot of you know, there was a Starbucks in Chinatown, Main Street, Flushing, for years before they actually came. And it was interesting, the Starbucks came to right on the border of Community Board 12. They didn't come in. They were on the Van Wyck at the old Van Wyck Lane. And,
Yes.
and they tried that out to see if there was a true market for it. Of course, that store did very well. And then we had the store in Sutphin, which was the first community store in the country. So I give a lot of credit to Owen, the work that he's been doing over the years, sending out several levels of emails and countless follow-up and phone calls. So that's the kind of work that Owen does. So Owen, what do you got for us tonight?
Yeah, I appreciate it. With that intro, unfortunately, I have a whole bunch of nothing this month. Because
sometimes nothing happens, sometimes
sometimes
it's
nothing happens.
Yeah,
sometimes that's how it is. I usually I've sent to basically every restaurant, as Glenn said, since 2014, every big restaurant here that you could think of, or that I can think of. So I usually send the emails off of something that I read in the press, something I read in the newspaper on development. And usually New York City is always bustling with development but the season that we're in, of course, get out of here. The season that we're in, there hasn't been as much. So the good thing I must admit is that from what I read in the press, and I also have there is investment on the way that restaurants are starting. I have several emails from myself from Indeed, and I see like restaurants like hiring people and sending out emails and advertisements to hire managers and stuff like that. So we're reaching an horizon with this COVID thing, I believe, and also once New York City returns to normalcy, there'll be a larger market or a larger demand for development in Jamaica. The last people that I spoke about the last time we met, I sent out to Trader Joe's, sent emails to their leadership. They have a portion of the website dedicated to this, to bring Trader Joe's to your neighborhood. So I shared all the information I shared with everybody else, just to let everybody know for your own edification. We have Southeast Jamaica, Queens, our community board. We have, compared to the rest of Queens, we have a high, medium household income. We have large amounts of commuters, household income, what else? High educated residents, all the usual statistics that usually brings in development. So we are not, just to let everybody else know, we are not Newark. Nothing wrong with Newark. God bless Newark. We're not that. we are upper middle class neighborhood that anything you think of, any store you see on Old Country Road, any store you see on Fifth Avenue can survive and thrive in Jamaica. So if you see of anything, or if you hear of anything, or you read of anything, you could suggest it to Glenn, and he can send me an email. Or you can, do your own research and contact the companies yourself. It's easier than it sounds. You find out who the leadership is. Their email address is usually their first name and last initial or something along those lines at company.com. you know, you look on the census, United States Census information. It's all publicly available information, and you just connect the dots and represent the community. So that's all I have.
Okay, thanks, Owen. And just a reminder, we've got crossings at Jamaica, the BRP development that has about 5,000 square feet of community commercial space that they're looking to make available. So that again would be an area for restaurant development and working with them. Yes, Reverend Thorpe.
Has anyone considered getting a Starbucks at Rochdale? In the Little Mall, they have Dunkin' Donuts, and it'll be great if we could have Starbucks in Rochdale.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Owen.
Speak to that. Yeah, sure. Yes, the short answer is yes. If there's a representative from Rochdale or someone who could, or I could do the information myself, like if there's any community groups or representatives from Rochdale who'd want to email me or speak to me, and we could see how we could word some messaging together. Jamaica Avenue is very easy for me because there's so much information readily available. You know, Greater Jamaica has a lot of useful statistics and variables to use in my emails. So if there's anybody from who knows the particulars of Rochdale and who wants to represent, I could share the information on who to contact, or we could, you know, do a joint email, because I hunted those dudes down. I pounded them down. I was sending emails to the dude who almost ran for president, the CEO, Adam Shakin. So they're probably tired of me. So
okay, so I will.
I also
reach out to you.
I also have the contact of the district manager. I can get a hold of the district manager. They were planning to do another Starbucks further up Jamaica Avenue. So you've got the one right off of Parsons, one block east of Parsons, and they were looking to bring another Starbucks further up Jamaica Avenue. So they would actually have 3 in the downtown area. So that might be something that, you know, they may have the appetite for that, because we like Starbucks coffee just like anybody else.
Owen, can you put your information in the chat? And also you can explain to them, we have parking in Rochdale. There's parking in Rochdale. So that allows to make it even easier. So instead of me driving to Long Island, I can stop in Rochdale.
Yeah,
definitely.
Okay. Good. Any other restaurant ideas or anything that anybody else is thinking about that they'd like to see? I'm still standing for an Apple store and the Nostrums at Sutphin and Archer. So that's just wanted to let you know that's been my stand, to get some quality retail in the downtown Jamaica area.
That sounds like a plan.
Okay. All right. I'm going to turn it over to Miss Toni Coleman-Brown to, I'm labeling her as a small business coach, advisor. I've heard some really great accolades around the work that she's been doing with your college. And so I invited her to present some of the things that they're doing. And I also have some information that I'll share with you in terms of some of the upcoming events that your college is doing. So take it away, Toni.
Greetings, everyone. I'm excited to be here with you guys tonight. I also was excited when Harry Wells from York Small Business Development Center reached out to me and asked me to do some digital marketing training with the small business owners in Southeast Queens. I've actually been doing training with York SBDC as well as with Marls. And, you know, I've been doing some digital marketing training with them as well. Apparently, they've had a hard time finding people that are kind of experts in the digital marketing area. And I've been involved with digital marketing and online marketing, almost since the internet was created. I know I might be dating myself, but it's true. So just to kind of share my screen and show you what we've been doing, because we put together a whole complete digital marketing training series. And for the past 4 weeks, we're doing this for up to 6 weeks. So for the past 4 weeks, we actually put together some training on Shopify as well as Etsy. This particular flyer don't have all of the trainings that were done. Last week we did how to get your website primed and ready for sales. The week before that, we did getting started with e-commerce on Etsy. And this week, we're going to be doing social media done right so you can save time and money. And then the week after that, we're going to be doing email marketing made easy. Now, I have to tell you, the first 2 workshops that we did were on Shopify. And they were very well received. A lot of people got a lot of great information. They really found out things about Shopify that they didn't know existed. I know that with the pandemic, a lot of business owners were hit hard. I mean, I, being a business owner myself, someone that would go to a lot of vending events, I would run into a lot of entrepreneurs. And then when I would ask them questions about their online presence, a lot of them didn't even have websites, or if they had websites, they weren't really maximizing their online presence. So, New York State had this program and still does has this program with Shopify and Etsy, where they really were pushing entrepreneurs to get started with them and gave them almost 6 months for free to utilize the service. That has since gone, but there's still more other opportunities for people to get started on the platform. Now, when I did the training on Etsy, I think a lot of people were really blown away because when most people go online, they don't go online with their credit card in hand unless they're usually going to places like Amazon or Walmart.com or Best Buy. A lot of times, people go to Best Buy, they buy the item, and then they go to the store and pick it up. But when they found out about Etsy, they got really excited because Etsy is another one of those online marketplaces. Similar to Poshmark. When people go to Etsy or when people go to eBay, when people go to Poshmark, they have true buying intent. So most of the time they go there with their credit cards in hand, ready to buy. So when they saw the differences between Etsy and Shopify, Shopify being an online web platform for you to build your website, and Etsy being a platform where you can list your items for sale, similarly to the way you list items on eBay. Once they saw a lot of those differences, a lot of people's eyes were open to Etsy and, the benefits of listing their items on Etsy. And a lot of people were like, wow, I think I want to get started with Etsy because of, a lot of the benefits and perks that, go along with that particular platform, because it's pretty much free. There's no monthly fee. The only thing you would have to pay is your listing and things like that. So people's eyes were really open. And then last week, when we talked about getting your websites primed and ready for sales, a lot of the entrepreneurs just had no idea how the little things like having testimonies on their websites, like having people, giving video testimonies, or, really having a call to action for people to actually buy their products. All of those little things they weren't aware of. So when we did that workshop, it was truly an eye-opening experience for a lot of entrepreneurs. Now, I know when I do the workshop this upcoming week on social media, a lot of people are going to feel like, whew, I'm glad you said all of that, because a lot of people spend a lot of time and a lot of energy on social media, but when they do it the right way, they can actually scale back on a lot of that and really just do social media with more ease and grace. Now, I'm excited about that one. And email marketing is probably one of the cheapest and most effective ways to market and promote your business. And if people aren't list building, then, shame on them. But we're going to talk about that and really people started with this. But, even with these classes, what I've enjoyed about doing this is the fact that we also have students. We have some student interns that are also participating in this project. And basically what they're doing is, they're learning how to list items on eBay. They're learning how to set up Shopify websites. And what we're doing with the students are we're creating an environment where we can take on the entrepreneurs in Southeast Queens as clients for York Small Business Development Center and have them actually set up their Etsy stores for them or set up their Shopify stores for them. So this whole, training series is more than just digital marketing. It's actually train a trainer. So we have a couple of students so far too, but we're looking to get more. And the two students that we currently have, one is majoring in IT, another young lady is majoring in finance. And it's really exciting because a lot of the entrepreneurs have reached out and they've said, you know what, I need help with social media, or I need help getting my Etsy store set up. I have my online store on Wix, but I want to list my products on Etsy. So we're taking these entrepreneurs on as clients, similarly to the way the York always takes on entrepreneurs as clients. And it doesn't matter if they're helping them with PPP loans, we're going to actually help them build their digital presence. So that's one of the things that I'm really and truly excited about, because these young people are not only going to be learning, but I've also set them up so that they can participate in actual simulations. So I have connected with a company that provides digital marketing simulations and social media marketing simulations. So the students are going to actually have a fictitious budget where they're actually going to go online and learn how to buy ads and learn how to optimize websites. And they're going to get real live feedback. So we're going to be doing the simulations so they can build their digital marketing muscle and build their social media marketing muscles. And I'm truly excited about that. And so are they. They're eager to learn. Even the young lady whose background is in finance, what she's going to be doing as well is helping some of these entrepreneurs to get their business paperwork in order. It's almost tax season, and a lot of people don't even look at their business paperwork until it's tax season. So she's going to be helping them, get their businesses in order and helping them establish profit and loss statements, really kind of getting them on a schedule so that they can look at their business as a CEO, so that they can spend time each and every month going over their finances, seeing, what products are really selling the most in my business. Where should I be spending my time? What are my best sellers? So she's going to be building analytics and metrics for them so they can really start working and running their businesses like a business. So also what's really cool about what I've been doing, I'm going to pause my screen share for a minute and redo it, because I know that sometimes, you have to do that with these platforms, because if you try to jump from one place to the other place, what ends up happening is it won't do it. So I'm going to share my screen again and show you something else that we set up for the Small Business Development Center at York. York didn't have a YouTube channel. So one of the things that we're doing with all of the trainings that we have is we've built a YouTube channel for the York Small Business Development Center. So these entrepreneurs, if you miss a training, you can actually go back and view these trainings on Shopify as well as Etsy, and as well as the one on how to get your website primed and ready for sales, you can go back and view the trainings on demand. And that's really good because in these trainings, what I did when it came down to Shopify and Etsy, I went in and showed them step by step how to actually build a website on Shopify, how to actually put their products up on Shopify, and how to list your products, how to optimize your listings, how to set up your blog on Shopify. So we went into detail on all of that, and all of the entrepreneurs, if you watched it or if you didn't get the opportunity to watch it live, now you can watch it on demand. So that's something that's really good. And, we're looking to really build this library, and the work that we've been doing with entrepreneurs in Southeast Queens, we're actually looking to do it again for Rochdale Village, the whole Rochdale Village community. So we're really excited about that. I'm working with the Community Center Director, Ms. Julia D. Shaw, and we're looking to bring a lot of these programs to that community as well, because Rochdale Village has a lot of entrepreneurs. But when it comes down to digital marketing, there's really an abundance of riches when it comes down to training, because digital marketing is huge. And a lot of people, when they think about it, the only thing people think about most of the time is Facebook marketing or Instagram marketing, but there's so many different platforms. There's TikTok, there's LinkedIn, there's podcasting, there's content marketing, there's blogging. There's so many different aspects of digital marketing until I could literally train from today all the way up until the end of the year when it comes down to digital marketing, because at the end of the day, there's so many different things that you can do and so many different things that people are not even aware of. I mean, there's messenger bot marketing. All of this is all digital marketing. There's SMS marketing, where you're just marketing with text messaging. So there's so many different things and different aspects of, digital marketing. And there's so many new communities. I mean, you talk about restaurants. There's an app called Community, as a matter of fact, and it's all about SMS marketing. And, you see the woman from Slutty Vegan talking about how she connects with her customers utilizing that app, and it's all SMS messaging. So that's huge. And a lot of people haven't even really begun to go into that arena when it comes down to digital marketing. And everybody has their cell phone, usually within arm's distance, right? So when it comes down to even text message marketing and SMS marketing, that's huge. So there's so many different topics that we can cover. What we're planning on doing is we're planning on really training on all of this so that all of the entrepreneurs in Southeast Queens can build their digital marketing muscle so that they can become stronger. Because one of the things we know for sure that happened for a lot of people once the virus hit was people were feeling lost and not really knowing how to pivot your business online. And that's one of the things that we want to do, because to be honest with you, even when it comes down to restaurants and all of that stuff, the whole delivery aspect of it, that stuff is here to stay. So even people, going into that industry, once we go back, you're still going to have to reimagine how you do business. And you really want to be able to do business differently. This pandemic taught us that, we need to have our online presence. We need to be, moving more into the digital space. And one of the things it also taught us was we need to have our financial houses in order, right? Because a lot of people couldn't get PPP loans because they didn't have their paperwork together. So we really want to work with small businesses in Southeast Queens so that we can, help them build their, digital marketing strength, build their financial strength so that they can really prosper. You know, we always talk about, you know, this virus, but, you know, one of the things that one of my girlfriends said to me when this all hit, you know, she said, well, you have to start thinking about where you want to be on the other side of this, you know, and people have to start thinking about where they want to be on the other side of this. And what my hope is that we could really reimagine what the small, you know, York Small Business Development Center is all about. And we really want to be able to say that we made a difference. We made a difference for the entrepreneurs in Southeast Queens, and we helped to build their digital marketing strength. And we also want to be able to say that, you know what, we also got a whole lot of people MWBE and MBE certified as well, because that's another thing that we started doing, just, you know, getting a lot of people saying, you know what, now that I have a little bit of time, you know what, I'm going to do that. I'm going to get certified, so that when we get on the other side of this, we hope that people come out a lot stronger, a lot smarter, and just ready to compete, not just even on a local level, but even on a global level. So I'm excited about the work that's being done. I mean, I can probably go on and on and on talking about it, because I get real geeked out. I'm a little bit of a tech nerd, you know, so I get real geeked out about these things. But I'm excited with regards to what's happening and what people are learning. You know, one of my girlfriends called me like tech teacher Toni, because one of the things that I think is my strengths is the fact that I can kind of take a lot of those techie terms and break them down in ways that people understand. And I believe, and also the other thing is I've done a lot of this stuff. You know, I've done it for myself, so that's why I can teach it to other people. It's not like I'm just reading from a textbook or anything like that. You know, when I was building the Shopify store and showing them how to do it, I was literally building a Shopify store. So it wasn't like I was just trying to give these textbook methods. But I think that that's one of the reasons why a lot of the entrepreneurs are really enjoying it, because they're like, wow, you know, I really get it, you know. And I think that that's been one of the, you know, fun things about it. So I've been enjoying myself. The entrepreneurs of Southeast Queens have been enjoying it, and we're just looking to take it to the next level over the next 6 months, and hopefully even 6 more months after that, and on and on and on. So I thank you for allowing me to talk about what we're doing. And I hope that you guys can spread the word, because there's so much happening and there's so many different programs that are coming up, and so many opportunities to partner with organizations and things like that. So just spread the word about what we're doing and get people on these webinars, or send them to the YouTube channel so that they can build their digital marketing muscle. Thank you so much.
Well, we're not going to let you go yet. We're going to have some questions and answers. And how I'd like to do that is, so if people know how to raise their hand, you go into reactions and raise your hand, and we can get a queue for questions. I've got a couple to start out with, and then we'll open up the queue. So when you talk about digital marketing, there's digital marketing. Does that include surround marketing and sales marketing, which I understand may be a little different? So would you explain a little of that to the folks on the call?
Yeah, so basically, you know, when I'm talking about digital marketing, I'm talking about, you know, methods that you can use to drive traffic to your website. You know, now when I talk about like how to get your website primed and ready for sales, what I'm talking about is what you can do to convert people once they get to your website. You know, and I mean, and when it comes down to digital marketing, you can get sales from all over the world, but you can also do some, you know, advertising locally in your area, so that you're only focused on a small, you know, a small area, you know, you say that, okay, I want people within a 10-mile radius of Rosedale, or I want people within a 25-mile radius of Jamaica. So those are some of the things that you can do as well. Now, when it comes down to like, you know, sales training, that's different. That, you know, like that is, you know, I usually have a guy that I bring in that does like real hardcore like sales training on how to sell your services. What are some of the things you need to say to sell your services? How you overcome objections when you're selling your services or when you're selling your products. So the psychology of sales is completely different. When I'm talking about digital marketing, I'm talking about, you know, having a presence, really, you know, getting yourself, interrupting all of the things that's going on the internet so that you can get in front of the right people with the right message so that you can convert a sale. So that's more. Go ahead.
Great, thank you. I know one of the things that people talk about all the time is, as you said, the conversion rate. And how do you maximize that? Because I was working with a gentleman doing some work on a program I'm developing, and one of the things that he talked about is that email marketing and digital content is probably more appropriate for conversion. So would you talk a little bit about that for us?
Yeah, absolutely. Because, you know, one of the things that I believe is that it's a lot of what you do before people come to your website that will allow people to convert when they get to your website. So oftentimes, and I mean, and you know, I can kind of show you this in terms of, you know, if you want to capture a lead, say for example, or if you want to generate a sale, it's what you've been saying before that person even lands on your website that's going to increase your conversion rate. So, I mean, I just did a campaign where I launched a program called Magic Lead Generation. I opened the cart for 5 days. I made $5,200 in 5 days. But the way I did that was because of all of the things that I had done before I opened the cart. And basically, you know, I was doing videos, and in my videos, I was training people. I was letting them know, you know, like, you know, this is what you need to do. This is how you need to position yourself as an expert. You need to educate, you know, your consumer, because that's what's going on online right now. People are doing more research. People are looking to be educated. We're more educated consumers than we were before. So, you know, it was all of the posts that I did before people got to my website. So when I opened the cart, they were already primed and ready because I had taken about 2 to 3 weeks to build curiosity. So I had a curiosity phase where I just, you know, was like just dropping little nuggets, little hints and things like that. And then I had an authority phase where I came out and I was just like, okay, I am your expert. This is the reason why, you know, 97% of the people that come to your website don't even come with an intent to buy. So because people don't come with an intent to buy, then you have to position yourself in the marketplace as the expert. And it doesn't matter if you are someone who's selling foundation or someone who's selling lipstick or someone who's selling rum cakes. You have to position yourself as the expert. And I mean, you know, I know that there's a woman in Southeast Queens that sells rum cakes. And I said, you know, what's your brand story? What's the story behind these rum cakes? Is this like a recipe from your grandmother from 100 years ago? Like just telling that story makes people primed and ready. So by the time they get to your website, they're like, they know what they want. They know what they want to buy. And that's how you can, you know, increase the conversion rate. And all of the things that you're doing before people get to your website, that's digital marketing. If you're blogging, that's digital marketing. If you're writing articles, that's digital marketing. If you're cutting videos and posting them on YouTube, that's digital marketing. If you're doing Facebook Lives, that's digital marketing. If you're podcasting, that's digital marketing. So it's all of these things that you're doing ahead of time. You are positioning yourself as that trusted expert in the marketplace with whatever it is, whatever product, whatever service, and that is what's going to increase the conversion rate. I've had people come and they say, oh, I wanna launch this, this course or this product, and they haven't been out there. They haven't, they've been hiding for a year. They haven't been communicating with their email list, and they think that they can just, pop up. And, like it's like a field of dreams. If I build it, people will come. Well, it just doesn't work like that. It really doesn't. You have to really do a lot of the work ahead of time, so you can have a high conversion rate. And, and I built a wait list. And my wait list was small. It had less than 100 people on it, but I was still able to do $5,200 in 5 days. That was success. My conversion rate on that sales page was high. It really was. Yeah.
Wow, thank you. One last question before I open it up. So you mentioned SMS marketing, text message marketing,
Yeah,
of course,
those are the same.
LinkedIn, Facebook, and some of the others. What would you say if I'm starting out business or a current business that I'm looking to improve my online presence? What would you say would be the top 3 of these digital marketing areas that I should be looking into and invest my time, money?
Well, first of all, I would say see what it is that you're marketing, right? Because not every platform is great for every person. But this is what I would say. So like, say for instance, if you are a career coach, right? If you're a career coach and you're looking to help people with their careers, I'll tell you, you need to be on LinkedIn. Right? So that would be number 1 for you. And then number 2 might be Facebook, and Facebook only because Facebook has such amazing, not just demographics, but psychographics, because people not only tell you, their sex, their age, where they grew up, where they currently live. People also tell you what their interests are. So they like certain pages, so they, what they're interested in. And that type of psychographic information really makes it easier for you to be able to, narrow down your search. So for example, if I was coming up with a great gospel product, I know that I could put together an audience of people who like Tamala Mann, Mary, the Winans, and, so I would put together people who were famous, and I would create these audiences and I would market and promote to them, because I know that people who are interested in this would also be interested in what I have to offer. So, I would say, like I said, it depends upon what you're marketing. If you are in clothes, I would say you need to be on Instagram. I would say Instagram may be number 1 for you. I would also say Pinterest, maybe even number 1, or just as high up there on the list as Instagram. But, I would also say, don't rule out YouTube. And the one reason why I like YouTube is because YouTube is not just a platform where people go, just to watch different, videos. YouTube is a search engine, and especially if you are out there with intellectual property and you know how to tell people how to do things, how to fix things. You have to have a YouTube channel, because that's almost like having a commercial or a TV show that's, performing in rerun. Because if you go to YouTube and you search how to tie a bow tie, the top video that would come up probably have had something like a gajillion views. but the video was cut 10 years ago. And that's the power of YouTube. People can find your stuff years and years and years later. That's powerful. You make a video one time and you put it up there with a link to your product, and people could find it, and you can make sales years and years down the road. That's huge. And that's why I always believe that YouTube should be a part of everybody's digital marketing strategy at some part, in some aspects, because it's just so important. And it's also a search engine, and it's also tied to Google. So I mean, it's just huge. But that would be my response to someone asking me about which platforms. First, I would want to know what their business is, because the top 3 wouldn't be the same for every entrepreneur.
Thank you. That's
You're
great.
welcome.
Well, I'm going to open it up. So raise your hands, and Mr. Alum, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Greenridge. So my question to you, Ms. Brown, is, as you know, that in our current generation, digital marketing is very, very valuable, especially to very young people, especially high school students. So what initiatives will you take to help young people understand the essence of digital marketing that can be beneficial for them in the career, to become career ready?
That's a great question. And for young people, one of the things that we could definitely do is we could really talk to them about having a great social media presence right from the start. And one of the things that I would do for young people is, and I could talk to Harry about this, because we could create a program where we teach young people how to create really great and optimized LinkedIn profiles, because you can have a LinkedIn profile, right from the start, that really highlights your projects, the things that you've worked on in school and things like that. But also, a lot of young people are really, really into TikTok, and they're also into Snapchat. And what I would do with young people to really help them right from the start is to tell them and teach them how they can, maximize those platforms, not so much from, and young people like YouTube as well. One of the things that I noticed is that young people watch YouTube the way we used to watch TV. But I would also teach them how not to just be a consumer of social media, but also how they could be a producer in social media. And what I mean by that is, there are a lot of young people that have YouTube channels that are monetized and they're making money. There are a lot of people that have TikTok channels that are monetized and they're making money. And there are a lot of young people that have talent. And what I would like to see young people doing more of, and I'll talk to Harry about this, is utilizing these social media platforms as methodologies so that they can subsidize their income and they can actually underwrite their college degrees. And I've seen so many people. There was a young girl on Etsy who loved to make jewelry. She made jewelry, created an Etsy store, and that generated $100,000 a year. She used that money to underwrite her college degree. There are a lot of students that are smart, super smart, that can create channels where they can teach other students how to do math. They can monetize those YouTube channels and underwrite their college degrees. So when it comes down to young people, what I would love to do is lead an effort that would teach them how not to be more so of a consumer, but also to become on the other side and become a producer so that they can monetize their social media activity so that they can underwrite their college education and not go into debt. That I would love to do something like that.
Great, thank you. Anybody else? Any other questions? Go ahead, Owen.
Yeah, just had thanks for that. That was great. Out of curiosity, what what kind of businesses are taking advantage of this program so far?
So far, we've had entrepreneurs that have, they are in the restaurant business. Some of them are creating their own products. And, you know, some of them are creatives, you know, creating their own products. Some of them have their own online stores and their clothing stores. So it's a variety. Some of them are selling services. So it's a variety. It's been a variety of participants. You know, one is a social worker, has her own business and is looking to really, you know, expand her practice, expand her brand. For a lot of them, it's about, you know, building their online presence and creating their brand stories. So it's been a nice variety of people that have not only service type businesses, but also food businesses and creatives, and also people that, you know, are selling their own coaches, you know, selling their intellectual property and things like that. So it's been a variety, Owen. Thanks for that question.
Great, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Non-profits, yeah, nonprofits, you name it, yeah.
You know, I'm very excited at this whole conversation, digital marketing, because I realize that you mentioned it earlier, that it's so important for especially the mom and pop businesses to get their name out there, and a lot of them don't have the online presence. And you've just mentioned about 4 or 5 avenues to be able to get the message out. As I said, I've been working with this getting this course license that I've authored, co-authored with a friend of mine, coaching course. And we've been going through the licensing process and the copywriting and so on and so forth. And he's been laying out some of the areas. And one of the things that I was surprised is that the email marketing, the online videos, website, and then there was a fourth one that was pretty prevalent, but all 4 of them had different aspects of the digital marketing, but they were very critical to the overall profile of the entrepreneur in terms of being able to get the word out and also to, as you mentioned, the conversions, because it's great that you have people come to the site, but if you don't convert them to sales, then you know you don't have a whole lot to show for it. So it's very good.
And it's all about presence, you know, it's all about presence. And it, you know, a lot of times people think that, oh, I'm working, and it's not working. But really and truly, it's almost like priming a well. You know how when you prime a well, you have to pump and pump and pump, and nothing comes. And you're pumping and pumping, and your arm is hurting, and nothing comes. And then all of a sudden, you get a drip. And you're like, uh-oh, something is happening. And then when the water well starts to go, then all you have to do is this. You don't have to push so hard anymore. So a lot of the hard work and the, you know, where people almost feel like the walls are caving in when they're trying to build their digital marketing presence, it pays off in the long run. People have to understand that it's a long race. You know, it's a long race, and a lot of times they want to step into somebody else's shoes that have been playing the game for a long time. And I'll tell you this. If you have money, you can do it. But if you don't have money, it's going to take some time. Because if you have money, you can pay to interrupt somebody's feed. You can pay to interrupt somebody's email. You know how when you open up your Gmail now, there's little ads at the top. So you can pay for that. If you have money, you can do it. But if you don't have money, it's just going to take time. And you just have to be in the long game, you know? Because if you see somebody who has, you know, 1 million, you know, followers and all this, but that don't even matter because likes don't buy. Likes don't buy. So, you know, people shouldn't chase the likes, you know, and also here's the other thing. People like look at social media and think that, oh, I'm going to put up this page and I'm going to wait for people to come to me. And they'll say, oh, I put up the post, but people are, what's going on? But you have to also engage. You have to look at these social media sites like as if the world has opened you up to the biggest networking event that ever happened. You have access to people. If you know who your people are, you might have to take some time out to, guess what? Go out there, look for your people. When you find them, send them a direct message. You know how people say it goes down in the DM? It really, a lot of business goes down in a DM. Let me give you an example of that. You guys know Ava, I don't want to mispronounce her name, DuVernay, right? The producer. She did the movie about the 5 guys from the Central Park 5, right?
Okay.
You guys know her, right? So you know the story about how that happened, right? When the guys became free, one of the guys went to her and sent her a DM.
Wow.
And she responded. And that's how that movie came about. So a lot of us are sitting here thinking that, oh, I don't know what to do, when really and truly what you need to do is what you've always done. It's like, this is a big networking pool. Reach out to the people. Just like Owen said, if you want to get in with Starbucks or whatever, it's usually the person's first name and last name and the name of the establishment. Reach out. So guess what? While a lot of people are out here trying to wait for somebody to come to them and visit their website, or build a whole bunch of millions of followers, there are people that are making millions of dollars by sitting back, knowing who their customer is and reaching out to them. Sometimes you got to go back to the old school. It's not that hard. It's really not. But as long as you know who your ideal customer and client is, you can make some big things happen. Seriously.
Yeah, that's great. I was in a course last week, I believe, and they used a quote from Wayne Gretzky, who's one of the prolific hockey scorers.
Yeah.
And they said, well, what's your technique? What do you do? And what he said is, I skate to where the puck will be. And so it's like we as entrepreneurs have to figure out where our customers are going to be.
Yes.
And position ourselves to where it's going. So
That's
as you
it.
said earlier, inside this pandemic, we've got opportunities. And at the end of it, or during and towards the end of it, and at the actual end of it, we're going to be positioned differently than we are now. And
That's
so
right.
anticipate where that's going to be so that we can then position ourselves, our business, to be in that place to be able to, score the goal in
That's
that,
right.
as a case. Yeah.
That's right.
Any other questions? We've got a content expert here that
Look at Hermela.
that is available to us. Anyone else? Well,
Nope.
Go ahead.
I have a
Put your
question.
information in the chat.
I have a question.
Mhm.
Yes, go ahead.
I think when first of all, a great presentation, very good. Working with York and their small business. And I just feel that York should expand, advertise more
Mhm.
to let people know that they are there. And we have many small businesses that's not even aware that, that there are grants out. I think I saw today they were talking about grants for the small businesses that do not know that there are grants out available.
Yes. And one of the things that I spoke to Harry Wells about is, just that, like putting out a newsletter so that we could, let people know what's going on in the
Yes,
community, because
yes,
Yeah.
you are absolutely right. There are lots of opportunities out there available for a lot of entrepreneurs. And you know what? That's why it's so critical for a lot of us to become MWBE and MBE certified right now. Right
and the
now.
thing is, York Small Business been out for many, many years. And a
Mhm.
lot of people not even aware they exist.
Right, right. Yeah. So that's another thing we talked about in terms of, doing some PR campaigns to let people know what's going on, and also, putting together like a hit list. Like
Yes.
Erna is from LIAC. I know Phil very well. And so, just really connecting with some of the other organizations so that we could put a big push out there. I know there's Simone Lord with, the Southeast Queens Chambers. So we're going to start connecting and building partnerships with other organizations so that we
Good.
can get the word out there. And, and even here, me being here with the community board is one of those avenues so we can get the word out there with regards to what's going on. And I thank you for that comment, and it's a good one. And you're right.
Erna's next, and Tony, would you put your information in the chat
Yeah,
so
sure.
people can know how to get a hold of you? Go ahead, Erna.
Okay, great presentation, Tony.
Thank you.
I have a question about nonprofits. Is there a specific program that you do for nonprofits, if you have one, or is it the same exact as if you were working with for-profit businesses?
Yeah, actually, some nonprofits have been on our trainings as well. And we've been working with them kind of similarly. Like I know one nonprofit wanted me to help her with her event. She has an event that's coming up, and I gave her a couple of, tips with regards to some of the things that she could do to, really, start positioning people to get ready when she actually opens the cart for her event. So some of the marketing strategies are going to be very similar for, a nonprofit and a for-profit business. So a lot of the programs are exactly the same.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Any other questions?
I need to do this to everybody.
And Tony, correct me if I'm wrong. You're from Southeast Queens. You live in Southeast Queens, correct?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I
So
live in
so we
Far
got a
Rockaway.
local expert
Yeah,
that's
I'm
available
here in the
to us.
Rock. I
That's
wasn't
right.
born and raised in Southeast Queens. I actually grew up in New Orleans, Louisiana. I have a huge
Nolens.
family. Yeah, Nolens, naturally Nolens, baby. I have a huge family in New Orleans. I'm the only one that's here. I have a cousin that's in New Jersey, but I've been in New York for it'll be 31 years. I can't believe I came to New York in 1990 after I graduated from Howard University. And, I got my master's degree from City College. I worked with I helped establish Black Expressions Book Club back in the day. I've written a couple of books and things like that. So yeah, but I've been a tech nerd since the early 90s. Really and truly, I've been into online marketing, you know, since, and building websites when you had to like know HTML code.
I
Now it's
remember those
just so
days.
easy. Yeah, it's so easy with drag and drop. You know, everybody could look good online now. And that's good in some ways and bad in other ways, But yeah, so I've been living in Southeast in the Rockaways for almost 20 years now. Yeah, we've had a house out here. Yep.
Very good. If there are no more questions, going once, going twice. Well, Tony, I want to really thank you for coming out tonight and really delivering the goods. got a lot of great information. This was an excellent presentation, excellent for small businesses. I know that I am, and I suspect some of the other folks on this call would then take this information back and begin to look at some of these opportunities that I certainly didn't know about prior to the presentation. And I've got some more arrows in my quiver to be able to hit that business and the businesses. Just so you know, the businesses in Suffern Boulevard bid will be impacted by your presentation. So
Oh,
really
that's
want to thank you
awesome.
for that. Yeah.
I would love to see a Krispy Kreme on Jamaica Avenue. I've been saying that.
Yes.
Looking into it. I swear I started looking into it. It's so expensive, but I mean, you know, with the right backing, but it's expensive. But I would love to see a Krispy Kreme. So you were asking what businesses? I mean, you know, I don't like to have to drive to Harlem to get Krispy Kreme donuts. I would like to be able to go to Jamaica Avenue and get me some Krispy Kreme donuts. I think that would be a great, great business, you know? So yeah, if we could get some people together.
We love that idea. And again, this is why we have these meetings, to really have the conversation. What do people want to have? What are people interested in? What would make people excited and to come to Jamaica? Because we prior to the malls, Jamaica Avenue was the place to come to.
Yes, it was.
And the malls are now kind of going away somewhat. So I think we've got a great opportunity I'm calling it the Renaissance of downtown Jamaica, and to cause a renaissance and because we've got, you know, about 5,000 units coming into this downtown area between the hotels and the residential apartments that are coming in.
Yeah.
So we're going to have an influx of people, and we as the residents and the businesses in this area have to, again, you know, we got to look to skate to where we think the puck is going to be, so that we can be in position to be able to capture those sales for now and for the future. And you know, and I really want to begin to talk also about legacy wealth building. I think that's the other conversation that that we as a community want to be consciously thinking about and moving towards. So but you've got to have a viable business to be able to give it to a legacy, to create a legacy from. So
that's true.
You know, thank you for the work that you're doing with your college, and thank you for taking time out to be with us tonight.
Oh, I appreciate you inviting me, and thank you guys for the questions and the comments. And I'm writing down your emails and your phone numbers. You guys have mine. Please do reach out. Please do reach out. Yeah, I will respond and I will get back to you. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Let's do great things together. I mean, you know, when I found out that the 114 zip code had the most home buyers of people of color in the whole United States, all I could say was, wow, wow. And you know what I tell people today is, stop selling your mama and grandmama house.
Yes.
Amen.
Yes. Yes.
Keep them houses.
Amen.
Keep them houses and the families. So, you know, that's one of the things that we have to work on as well, you know, and then make our young people know that. And that's one of the things I tell my kids. I'm like, you know, they say all kind of stuff. Oh, we're not going to be in that house. I'm just like, do you know how much we spent for the house and how much the house is worth now? You better hold on to these houses, you know?
Yeah, there's so many times the house is sold, they get a few dollars, and within 5 or 6 years it's blown, you know, and you don't have anything to show for it. And we've got to teach our young people, you know, what really is important, not consumerism, but as you said before, wealth building and legacy building.
And
'Cause-
producing, yes.
Exactly, exactly. All right. Well, I don't have anything else. Since I've got the chairperson here, Reverend Thorpe, so you got anything to close us out?
No, not at this time, but it was a
Okay.
great presentation. Ms. Brown, Ms. Coleman-Brown, you can come back anytime. You could come back. I'm just trying to think of something else to have you back to do. Maybe speak to the larger board at hand and speak to our general community, because what you're saying, everybody needs to hear it. There's a lot of talent in South. There are a lot of
talent
people that are around, that they're doing things, but they need, and they're looking for how to get to the next level. And they're not on this Zoom tonight, but they may be in the broad general meeting. And I would like to carve out some time for you to be there. So you will be hearing from me. You just were a blessing. It was a blessing. I enjoyed everything you had to say.
Thank you
And
so
we've
much.
got it recorded, so it could be,
Right.
we could put it in the community board Facebook or whatever, we
Okay.
can make it available to people, so,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. Ern, I got your message. We'll be in touch. Well, with that, yeah. Go
Let's
ahead.
not forget that this month is the month to celebrate women.
Yeah.
And so Miss Toni Coleman-Brown has just kicked it off.
Yeah.
You started off
Very
right.
good.
Mhm.
Glenn Greenwich, you have started
Absolutely.
off correct.
I thought that was
Okay.
every month, no?
Yes, it is.
Right.
Yes, it is. It's
In my house,
That's the smart thing to
it's
say.
365.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But for the rest of the world, today you have done a fabulous job, and we're excited. There's new things on the horizon.
Great. Well, on that note, again, thank you everybody for coming, for contributing. Toni, thank you for a fabulous presentation. We loved it, and as our chair has said, we will definitely have you back. We'll look for opportunities to have you back, and I certainly, now you've got me kind of thinking about some ideas and some other things. So we'll have you back on different levels. Thanks again. Good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Good night, and God bless.
Good night.
Good night.
Stay
Keep
safe.
well.
Yes, likewise.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.